Good morning, welcome back to Milmo Wood here in the beautiful North Wales. Today I'm going to be making a large lantern, Chinese style lantern. The inspiration for this was from a YouTube video, so don't lay credit to the full design, but I've put my spin on it. I've made a demonstration one or a development one, and now I'm in for making the next model, the improved version if you like. I've created some plans, I'm following through the plans, and I'm making alterations as I go and some measurements of the amount of wood I'm using. Hopefully I'll be able to share these plans with you if you're interested. I've done some cutting already, so there's some bits cut, but I've got more to cut. So let's crack on with the video, do the cutting, and then let's start the assembly of the giant Chinese lantern. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please subscribe, hit that bell, and share it with your friends, and hopefully we'll get more people to join my really small channel here in North Wales. Thanks guys. So we now have 3 lots of sub-assemblies together. I've already glued the bottom frame to the base. Next section we need to glue is what I'm calling the venting crown in the plan, and similar with the roof top, we're just going to glue this wood together. Come back to that later in the video and show you when I've done it. So at the moment I've needed to stop gluing the sub-assemblies because I've run out of clamps and methods to hold them together. I've got the top vent, I've got the bottom frame and top frame, I've got the only bit that's 4B1 or 100mm by 25mm, the base frame. I've got the insert triangles, and I've got, just tucked away in the background there, I've got the roof top. Once all that's set and my clamps are free, I'll be able to start gluing the other parts that I've cut. So for the base, I've just glued bottom frame 1 onto bottom frame 2, clamped it up to dry. And rather than cutting the roof section separately, I've glued 4 battens together in a 1 length, and then I shall cut them to the cut size, the cut list size, separately on the table saw. Now I'm not following the plans exactly how I've written them, however you can certainly follow the plans as they're written. So now with the base, I've got the floor pieces that I cut. Worth noting, and I didn't label these, but when I'm cutting the wood to the cutting list, I masking tape it together, and then I don't know if you can see, I actually list them or write on them so I know exactly what they are. These ones being the only straight pieces were obviously the floor. So if I take them out, I've designed the base and the floor in such a way that 7 pieces of the 25mm by 50mm or 50mm by 25mm 2B1 fit in and complete the floor level. So in order to put the floor into place, I'm just going to add a bead of glue around the outside. Quickly spread that on. Doesn't have to go at the side wall, but no harm if it does. and probably make it more secure. And once that's spread about evenly, we can now place the floor in place. Now these aren't a perfectly tight fit to the edge, because the lantern body is actually going to sit on top of these, and therefore it doesn't have to be a perfect fit. Last one in, like a dream. Just take some of the excess away. And then for these pieces, I'll just put a weight on top, and that's the base done, apart from the feet. Now I'm going to make the side frames. I'm going to use a slightly different method to make these frames. I'm going to use a brad nailer. If you haven't got a brad nailer, you don't need to do this method. You can follow what we've done previously, or find another way to hold it together. So I've selected my pieces of wood. I quickly tidied up the edges where they've been cut, and we need to start bringing these together. Make sure you pick the side that you want to be forward facing out of the lantern, so pick the best looking sides. Again, we're gluing the end of the wood so it will absorb, so make sure you've got sufficient on there. And then with my brad nailer, I find that I need to have some space between the workbench and the workpiece, so I'm going to just use some other cuts of wood as spacers. Bring the wood together, keeping your fingers out of the way of where the nail may protrude from the wood if you don't quite get it right. Stick a brad nail in. Notice though, I'm not brad nailing the long end, I'm brad nailing the short end. When the lantern's together, the long end will be visible and the short end won't. Going to repeat that on each corner now, and again focus on the joint. We want it as tight as possible. But always keep your fingers safe, because the brad nail may hit a knot or something in the wood, or you may not just put it in straight and you'll get the nail end poking out of the wood, and we don't want that poking into your fingers. I'm trying to keep the wood level, and the wood will move with the glue. Sometimes it's more hands are better. Kept my fingers, although they were close, they were out of the root of the nail. Now there's one in, second one will go in a lot easier. Spin the piece around. And then that frame can go on one side to dry. I'll repeat this on all the other sides. So that's all 4 sides glued and brad nailed. If you're using brad nails, you would be able to carry on and do the inserts. But on this occasion with myself, it's late evening. I'm going to leave these to set, and I'll come back tomorrow and I'll do the insert frames. All the frames are glued up and dry now. We can start looking at the inserts. Okay, so I've got the long edge of the insert frame, the short edge of the insert frame. See if they fit. Nice. Okay. Now we're going to glue these into place. Shouldn't need any more than just glue. Okay, just checking we got the good side up. Take the long edge, fit that nice and snug into the corner. And then the short edges. One's a little bit snug, I might have to tease it in. I've had to sand the edge of this one a little bit, wasn't quite fitting. Just tease that in. Make sure we're all level. And the main aim is to have the front side level. Just a little adjustment. So that's the insert frame done. I'm going to repeat that on all 4 sides now. Clean up the glue, squeeze out, and we're then ready to put the insert rectangle and the lattice width.